Fly Pie. Are you ready for Game 6?
I am.
Let us go in 3, 2, 1. So we have our 6th game of today. It will be GamingMistress versus Foxaves. GamingMistress in the south of the map playing as red, and Foxaves in green to the north.
One thing I notice is both players are using mines, which is something that not a lot of people run, so
yes,
could see some interesting stuff come out of that.
Maybe we'll see some interesting mines. Who knows? Looking at the map, there's a strange hill in the middle between both of players' bases, with a bunch of narrow passageways through, and then more easy access on the left side. Both players can get expansions if they do want, but for GamingMistress it's going to be a little bit tricky, because she will have to expand closer to Foxaves, and maybe expose the rest of the base to run-bys and such. Looking at the picks, GamingMistress seems to be liking the moles.
Yeah, it's
saw it last
become a
week.
signature pick for her.
Yeah, I saw it last week, where the moles definitely did a good job. Is opting to go for 2 warrants before filling out the farms, whereas Foxaves currently doesn't have any units yet. Does opt for a squirrel. GamingMistress is maybe going for some early aggression here with these very fast lizards.
Yeah, but she doesn't seem to be pulling them forward very much, and it's a long way to run, so by the time they get to Foxave's base at this point, he'll have his squirrels up to defend, so she missed her window of opportunity if she was planning to rush.
Yeah, she probably did miss it now. The warren placement as well is kind of neat, because it's in the back, and Foxaves wouldn't have really scouted it in time, but if she's just going to stay on this in this position for a while, then she will have an army advantage for a little bit, but she will have to get the 8th farm sooner rather than later if she wants to stay competitive in the economy.
Foxave puts down 2 Toad Warrens now, so he'll have at least some Toads up by the time any fights break out, so he should be well prepared for that. Both players are starting to put down some mines.
Yeah, Foxave's putting down mines in this right corridor, or the eastern corridor, let's call it that. GamingMistress countering with some mines of her own, while also putting some mines in the midfield. So some defensive posturing from both players right now. GamingMistress has added on the 7th farm and is adding more lizards now. It's probably looking to take the 8th farm in a bit and going for a balloon to defend her initial base. This Foxaves is probably going to take a peek to see what's going on, because there's no real aggression coming in.
One thing to note about delaying your 8th farm this long is, while you will be have a little bit less food in the mid game, you will be able to outlast a bit longer after the 5-minute mark because you've delayed your farm so much.
Yep, it's definitely a thing. Foxaves opting to add in another bunch of mines on the western passageway on that little hill. GamingMistress just sitting tight on the army she has right now, just content to wait and see what happens. He's stockpiling quite a bit of food, so maybe going for a fox, maybe going for a lot of falcons, or a lot of moles, while Foxaves is going heavy into his expansion, saturating a 2nd base.
And that 2nd expansion is a lot easier for GamingMistress to access than the original base, so if she wants to attack aggressively, she can attack that expansion now a lot easier.
She's still stockpiling a lot of food, so probably going to see something here rather soon. Here it comes. So there's a bunch of moles. That's 9 right now.
It looks like she might be trying to do a split attack with the lizards on the left and the moles on the right.
Yeah, that's might be what she's going for. There are a bunch of mines, though, so the moles will have to make their way through harsh territory if they do manage to get to Foxave's base. Foxave's going for a 3rd base, adding on some warrens. He's playing the eco-game right here. And GamingMistress does have to be careful about all those toads. A bit of a lull in the action. GamingMistress adding on a bunch of mines on this choke point, so if Foxaves were to move through, going to meet 6 facefuls of landwood. But for now, he seems to be he's getting a fox and getting some more farms. And he didn't scout the mines, I don't.
Yeah, those mines can be quite useful because if Gaming Mistress goes on an assault and loses her army, and then Foxaves tries to do a counter assault, those mines will just stop that, taking off any units he tries to counterattack with.
Unfortunately, Gaming Mistress hasn't really secured another base yet, so the initial farms have expired, whereas Foxaves has added on a second Fox Warren and is still on, 2.5 bases right now.
Gaming Mistress really needs to make something happen because she's sitting on only 3 farms while Foxaves has 15 and is building 2 foxes.
2 foxes, has a huge economy lead and 500 food, getting a 3rd Fox Warren. So with all these landmines, I think there's going to be some explosive action. Gaming Mistress opted to sell the balloon she had and replace it somewhere else, adding on some more moles as well right now. It's a slow siege. Oh, here comes a fox from Foxaves running into the minefield, and it just gets taken out. That is denied. Gaming Mistress going for the attack right now. And now the
split attack is focusing.
Going for the attack. The mines did quite a bit
of
work.
She only loses 1 mole from the mine.
Yeah, the moles are in Foxaves' base, having to go through a booby-trapped corridor, and unfortunately, with no lizard support, these moles will eventually get wrecked by all the squirrels. It does take out a bunch of warrens. Yeah, it takes out a bunch of warrens, but Gaming Mistress, unfortunately, is on only 1 farm right now, and a lot of her army was moles, so replenishing is going to be rather tricky. Now, Foxaves has to get past these final mines and a sniper balloon, but with 13 squirrels and, now 2 foxes, chances are he can pull it off. The fox does take some damage, and Gaming Mistress might be going around to try and go for a base race of sort, but Foxaves does have a higher amount of bases, and Foxaves kills her 1 mil and will take the game. Well, that was a lot of moles, and a Foxaves got destroyed by landmines.
Yes,
that was something.
Yeah, look like she was going for an all-in play, but just took too long to pull the trigger, and by the time she decided to, she was just too far behind to make much of a difference.
Yeah, unfortunately she didn't have the economic follow-up play, but there was some really good use of landmines in that game from both players. It was fun to see. Hunter, did you want to add on anything to that?
Yeah, that was the perfect map for landmines. It's great that both players just happened to be bringing them for that exact map. That was great fun to watch.
Alright, well then let us head into our 7th game for today,